Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Siri here again, and we're back with another video. So in today's video, I'm out with my natural hair. I don't know if you like what it looks like. I think it's kind of cute. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below if you like the natural hairstyles on it. If you're new to this channel and you're seeing this beautiful face for the first time, please don't make it your last. Do make sure to subscribe and like and press the notification bell so you get updated every time I post a video. Now let's get into today's. Yeah, so in today's video we'll be talking about the truth on having kids in your 20s, having kids early, if we still call that early these days. So most people would say there's no actual age to have kids, but if you look at the trends in today's society, most people tend to have kids either in their late 20s or early 30s or 30s in general. So when you tend to have kids in your early or mid 20s, it can be considered maybe early, or I don't know, kind of early. And I want to tell you guys what is the truth. Should you be having kids in your early 20s, or should you wait a bit later on in life? I'll be saying all of this based on my personal experience. Let me know what your experience was like in the comment section down below, and we can learn from each other. So yeah, in my case, got married in my 20s, and then yeah, got pregnant in my 20s. And the very first thing I would say I experienced was strength throughout the pregnancy, and I would even say an easy pregnancy. You know how like your mothers would tell you that if you get pregnant early, not early like 16, 18, 20 or something, shot at an earlier age, that you have it easier. Personally, I think I was a testament to that. I didn't have any morning sickness. I wasn't tired throughout the pregnancy till term. I was still going to work. I even stopped working only because I was like, well, it's just a couple of weeks to giving birth. You just be at home so that this child will not catch me while I'm at work. So that was my primary fear. I don't want to get into labor whilst I was at work, and that's the only reason I stopped. But in terms of strength, I was so strong, I was so agile, I was doing every single thing I used to do on a normal day till my due date. Like when I mean every single thing, there's nothing I normally do at home that I wasn't doing. In terms of, I was fixing my own nails. If I want to clean my bathroom, I'll clean it by myself. If I want to arrange my room, like everything. Like I didn't have any back pain. I didn't have anything like, oh, if I bend, it will hurt my back. Obviously, I was careful in terms of, there are like better ways of bending, like bending down, not bending like this and stuff. Like I would do that just for posture's sake and not to harm myself or my back. But I didn't experience anything. I wasn't sick during my pregnancy, and like I said, it was really and truly an easy pregnancy. All my friends and people around me kept on saying, oh my god, is this how pregnancy is? You really have it easy. And yeah, somehow I do believe that it had to do with the fact that I got pregnant in my 20s. Are there people that get pregnant in their 20s and that have difficult pregnancy? Yes. However, the statistics compared to women that got pregnant in later years is a lot higher, meaning that women that get pregnant in later years experience more difficult pregnancies compared to women that get pregnant in early. In the same vein with that, after giving birth, I experienced a really quick recovery. Even though I had a C-section, I was up and running just a couple of weeks after. When I say up and running, not lying down, as in back to normal. I wanted to work out. I wanted to do everything, even though I couldn't physically work out based on doctor's advice. But I was strong enough to do everything. Like, it wasn't like somebody has had a massive surgery or something just happened to this person. Unlike women at a later stage in life, when they give birth, it takes a lot longer for recovery. It even has to do with like the way I lost weight a lot easier and faster without going to the gym, without doing anything drastic. I didn't take any teas, I didn't take any concoctions. I was eating my normal meals and just watching what I was eating, just like I did before getting pregnant. Not in a crazy way like, oh, I'm on a diet or on this. No. And yeah, it was just a lot easier for my recovery. And I believe it has to do with the fact that because of my age group, or yeah, because my age bracket, it was a lot easier on my body. Your system is still strong and firm, like they would say in biology books. It's strong and firm, so it's easier for it to recuperate and get back kicking. That plus for me is that when you give birth at an early age, you have the ability to not only take care of your kids, but to enjoy all their milestones. God willing, you like God grants you long life. You're able to be there for them and with them throughout. So if you give birth in your 20s, most likely by the time your kids are in their 20s, you're either in your 40s or just about to be 50. And that literally is just, I would say, I won't even call it midlife nowadays. It's like you're just becoming a real adult. Most people, in terms of life expectancy, tend to live to like 70, others go above that. So if you've had all your kids and in your 50s, they're already in their 20s, that you've done really well. You've been able to see them throughout graduations, throughout uni, throughout so many milestones, weddings, and all of that, and you're really able to be there for them. Unlike somebody that has their kids in like their late 30s, there's a possibility of, you know, life expectancy and all of that. And even in terms of the strength, you're not as strong to like go for their football games with them, play basketball with them in the compound, like just do so many other activities, because you realize by the time your kids are 15, you're like almost 50. Yeah, if you give it like 35, your kids are 15, you're actually 50. Imagine like your first child is 15 and you're actually 50. And if let's say you have 2 or 3 of those, like you're going to be tired very easily. Unlike somebody that had them a lot earlier, really has time to enjoy their youth together and grow. Another thing I always tell people about getting married early and giving birth early is that it makes family planning a lot easier. When I mean family planning, it's not about the decision of how many kids you want to have and that. No, in terms of planning your family life. You realize most people retire at the age of 60, in some jobs late 50s. So it depends on like the career. But if you retire at the point where your kids are still in school, it does take a heavy burden on the family. So most people would want a case where you actually are taking care of your kids during your years of active service. So if you have your kids at an early stage, the likelihood that you'll be taking care of kids during your years of like active service is easier, because like I said, imagine you have your kids in your 20s. By the time you're 50, 55, literally maybe your last born, the third born, is done with school as well. So you literally were taking care of them during your active service. So by the time you retire, even if it's not retirement from like corporate work, but like let's say you run businesses and this and that, and you shall retire from active service, you're not using your pension, your retirement packages, and different things that you contributed towards your life insurance to be paying for school fees. I don't know if it makes sense, but to me it does make a lot of sense, and that's the goal for me. Now, on the other hand, there are a lot of advantages, but there are some things that have been. And the very first one for me is that when you have kids in your 20s, you tend to feel left out from activities with friends. What do I mean? So you just had a kid, and let's say you're in your 20s, 20 something, whatever bracket within those 20s. This is the age where most young people are traveling, going out, attending concerts, going clubbing, just doing different things and experiencing life, like enjoying their youth. So what is expected is that you're going out with your friends to do these things. But now you've had a baby, you can't just go out at night and leave the baby. You can't just wake up and be like, oh, I'm going on a girls' trip. Maybe you're still nursing, maybe your baby is breastfeeding exclusively. You can't just leave the baby and travel. So it takes a lot of adjusting, it takes a lot of planning. I still go out with my friends, I still meet up with my friends, but is it the way it was before? No, it's not. For example, I can't meet up on like late night events. I will meet up for like afternoon events, and like 7 p.m, 8 p.m. latest, I'm back home, because I want to like see my kid going to bed. I want to be there for them. Could there be an occasional late night here and there? Yes, but it requires so much planning, And trust me, it's not when the kid is like literally 1 month old, 2 month old. Like the child would have grown a little bit where you can trust to leave the child overnight, either with your parents or whomever is taking care of the child. So yes, you're going to feel left out. Sometimes you want to go for stuff, but you know that it doesn't make sense for you to leave your child and go for those things. So you tend to miss out on those. And yeah, there's that feeling of being left out. Another one that we tend to deny, but is the truth, is that it's going to affect your career and growth, whether you like it or not. From the moment you get pregnant, you're less likely to push for a promotion. Why? Because you know that you're soon going to go on maternity leave. And if the point where you're pushing for the promotion, the assessment is right before or during your maternity leave, how are you going to be able to meet up? There's so many things that actually make you to slow down. Women tend to stay in certain careers that maybe pay them less just because it gives them the flexibility to be able to take care of their kids. You see some women actually taking part-time roles instead of full-time roles, so they'll be able to come back and take care of the kids while their other partner takes up like the full-time roles. In so many different ways, it affects your career. However, this is not forever. You know how like the early formative years of a kid's life, like those early fragile years where they are not in school yet, actually yes, your career is going to be affected during those years. You would have a very supportive partner, you will have help and everybody coming together to help you, but it will not be the same like if you didn't have kids. You can make it work, but it's a lot more difficult. It requires a lot of planning, and no matter when you do all these things, it will still not be 100%. It can come close, but it will not be 100%. But it is just those early years. So if you still keep working at it, you keep improving on yourself academically, professionally, taking up courses, still giving your A game at work, after those few formative years, you still be able to get your goals and even better. However, for that early period, it is going to affect your career, and that is just a fact. Last but not the least is the fact that it is going to make you grow faster. Yes, you know how like in your 20s, yes, you may be independent, you may have moved out from mommy and daddy's house and be on your own and all of that. You are still a kid. You are still not responsible in so many ways for so many things. You can just do anyhow. You can just go out and misbehave and do anyhow, do so many things. When you have a kid, you can't be selfish anymore. You have to put that child first. In every decision you take, that child is the priority. What that means is you have to mature. From like some people can actually get married and still be immature, but once you have a child, nobody's asking you, nobody's telling you, will mature fast. You will mature very fast. You can see adults being like, okay, well, there's no money right now, and we'll drink Gary, we'll this, we'll that. But when a child is in there, you're not going to give a child Gary. You have to man up or woman up and ensure that like money is being provided for everything this child needs. It requires planning, it requires hard work, and it requires a lot of selflessness. Selfishness is out of it. You will see yourself becoming your parent. That your mommy that you're like, oh my god, mommy, you're so boring, you're so this. You will become that. You will become that. All these, but it's not to discourage anyone. Actually, I would never regret having my kid. Now, one, then more to come. Lol. My kid in my 20s or early 30s, however you want to like classify it, because if you're having more than 1, 2, 3 kids, you may find yourself having the last one maybe by the time you're 30 or 31, however it is. But like having my kids early, I'll never regret that. That was actually what I wanted. It didn't creep up on me or anybody tried to convince me to. That's what I wanted, and I'm very much happy with it. I'm so happy to like be there for my baby, to witness everything. I'm so eager for us to grow together, for us to be twinning, for us to be doing everything together. Yeah, I cannot wait. So yeah, but let me know in the comment section down below, what was your experience? Did you have your kids in your 20s? Did you have your kids in your 30s? Were your experiences different from mine? And yeah, let us know. Let's chat and share and grow together. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.